ask that question, I'm sure. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you, Joe. So now he asked, if asked the question if we can pass data from sequence to flowcharts, right? And we're looking for a way out. To verbally communicate that, it's simply to say the principles of passing arguments between, now between two different projects um, still holds with passing data between the sequence and the flow charts. And how do I mean? Yeah, if you have done it with in the normal sequence mode, that is under sequence. Yeah, what you do in flowcharts, uh, it's you would in flowcharts, you can still bring in sequence into flowcharts. Let me share screen. Let's try something. All right, so while system is coming, okay. All right, so the way to do that is to in your flowcharts, you bring in a sequence, um, as though an activity, and in which you're going to put all the activities you want to extract. Okay, want to extract as a workflow, and then you do all the necessary data transactions. I'm going to do that now. So that's by the way. Yeah. A moment, it will come up. A moment. UiPath Studio has not come up. Okay.
Hear me? Hello? Hello?
Are you talking to us in this class or you have a call?
Is Sorry, I can't hear Mr. Ebenezer very well. Is it the network or from my side?
No.
It's free on it.
No, it's not. Hello? 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 Hello?
We can hear you, sir.
Hello? Okay. See my screen. Okay. All right. So I think in one of the sessions we mentioned what variables, what they are meant for, what arguments are also meant for. If you recall, variables, variables they are meant for passing data, within a workflow. Like you have a project. Okay, you have like you have seen us done that a number of times. So you see that the variables we use, everything is being used within that within a single project. Everything within a workflow. Okay, so that's what it does. In the case of arguments, it is used to pass data, now between different projects. Okay, it is not within just the project. You can use it to pass data or to receive data, to take data in from other projects. Okay, so that's the way variables, what's it called, an argument. So what we work for the K or what Ephraim raised, definitely we have to pass argument. That's the summary. Okay, we have to pass an argument to do that, to check data, to get data into or outside the workflow. Okay, yeah, let's now this is a workflow chart. A flow chart, and can create an argument. Let's call this the depth something, or the depth index. All right, so here this is a flow chart. You all agree with me, so we can create arguments. Create argument for this, and of course, in argument, it's good to describe it using whether it is in or out, even right from the description. we are giving to it. Okay, so, and let me also stress that when you say in, and when you say out, you are saying that you are passing this, you are passing it out. So that's how the in and the out. But we have some data that the direction is either in, it could be both in and out. Okay, yeah. So we say in, and I just let's just call it okay, January. January date or something, and then let's take it in. Let's take it as in. All right, integer. Just create an argument. That's all. We're not adding any value. And take this still in as in. That's every. Every date. Take it in. Change the argument type to int32. Set this. Take it out. This is meant to be passed outside this this flowchart. Call it call it to it. So let's assume we have data for each month, and then we have a summary for everything. Call it total depth. Okay, and call the direction.
Hello, sir.
We give it to house. Hello.
Yes, sir. You are not speaking loud enough. It's not very audible.
Oh, okay. All right. So the argument type to int32 still. Okay. We can have it more than this, so let's leave it at this for demo purpose. Right, and of course, these are our flow charts. Let's what can we do here? Let's bring in a sequence. Take it to this node, and perhaps if you dialog, that will be taking time. Let's just take an assign activity. Right. Drag and assign activity into the sequence. Don't forget we are still in a flowchart space. Right. Okay, so then we have this. Let's call this. Call it. Rename it. And say this is. Let's call it depth check. Something. Okay. And all right, so we can do this now. Okay, so let's just let's take this. That's the argument we've created. We can bring it here. Out total.
Tí àwọn jẹ́ Kóńgò yìí. Tó fẹ́ ọ̀gá tó.
Achawa Bidemi, your mic, please.
please mute yourself, please. Okay, so you can have this as an array and add everything. But this is February. And sorry, should have started with January, notwithstanding. All right. Okay, but don't forget, we have not. There is no value, involved in this. This is just an argument that has been passed into this place. Okay, so, and if you check the variables, do we have anything here? Okay, we don't have anything at the variable section. That was the argument. So we can extract this as a workflow. Don't forget, we are still in flowcharts, but this sequence in flowchart, so we can extract as flow as a workflow. And we can call this, if it's giving us sequence depth check. Maybe yes. Sequence depth check. I'll call it depth. Since what we put in that is in summary is like total depth total. All right, great. So we have this. This is the extracted workflow. All right, so we have it here. So let's check variables. Okay, argument present. Let's check the flowchart itself. All right. Okay. So here we can create variables that we want to use, which assumably say, okay, it is it's actually it's in a sequence. Yeah. So we can have, what name did we use for the other one? I think we use, okay, him was used, so I can just go ahead to say January balance, call it okay, let me do it that way. Then this alright, then this call it February balance. Variable type as 32. Let me globalize this and see. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay, so I have this, and then the third variable to bring this together as call it depth balance. Is there anything like that already? Okay, depth balance. All right, so this also has a string. And of course, if I want to extend this, I can create a dialog that will help us to put different values here. All right, I can put that above this where we have this plus, so that it will be what the user is imputing. But to save time, I can simply push in value for this, the default value, and call this since it is depth, it should not be much. Okay, 300 here. And let's have maybe another 100. Okay. Like this, okay, we can leave this. This will depend on this. We can leave this out of it. All right. Okay, so we have values, default values for the variables created. All right. All right. So this is the Invoke workflow, and then let's have a view. All right. So now you see here that we have the argument that we can import. Okay, we have and we can open our workflow from here. So what we do is we import arguments. So instead of now using values of argument as it were, so we push in, we replace it. All right, so we just replace it with values that created for variables. Okay, import arguments, and then so all right, these are the arguments, the direction, and then the type, the value. So this value can be changed. This is the normal way it works with sequence, and you are also extracting this from sequence doing an instruction or workflow sequence. So value here can push in what we created for variables, which is January. Hello, January. Sorry, house. So I think we created depth balance for that. Then here for February, created just Feb also for it. So you can see us replacing what we have in argument, values we have in the variables now. Right, so then for January, push it to that Jan. Okay. All right, so then we're done with this. So we have replaced all the arguments with variables. Okay. All right, so this is the extracted workflow. This is the flow chart that has been from which we extracted this other flow. Okay, so this is the invoke sequence. We see variables, arguments here. So if we run this, let's run it and see what do we have here. We have okay, so now you can see an output of what we have done. This is the sign. Let's simply bring it in the right line. Should make it right line. And say our what we want here is our total debt. Okay, yeah, let me use a message box to do what's out there. So we can simply put our this out, that's our argument. Okay, this thing is our, but we have replaced all this with variables. What are we expecting to see? We are expecting to see a sum total. Yeah, you say what? Going to our flowchart. Okay, yeah, should run. Okay, I think we started. What did we start now? One was 300. Yes, the other was 100. Okay, okay, yeah. Okay, now back to what we talk about. Now this is flow charts, no doubt. All right, so the way to like pass data from another sequence outside this, it's simply by using arguments. That's the way to work it. The simple way of doing it under sequence. That's the same way to work under flowcharts. What you need to do is to establish the activity in a sequence. That will be very useful. So we can you can replicate this in a bigger way. Surely, I think when we get to advanced stage as it were, yes, we'll see something around this, a situation whereby data is being passed from actually from a workflow, from sequence even into a flowchart. So we see complex it's a system that is a bit complex, more complex than this. All right, so that's about that. Actually, we are supposed to look at part of the control flow, activities. Yes, and get to error handling, and I think there's another one to end that lesson. This is needful because when we are building our work, of course, as developers, we cannot but commit some errors. It's just like a narrator. It's just like a speaker, whether public speaker or private speaker, if there's anything like that. But we're not public speaker. All right. No matter how good you are in a way, at some point you may flaw. I've seen even this Nobel laureate from Nigeria, Professor Wale Soyinka. you know, someone of his caliber make the blunder. But the point is that he quickly, just on that spot, and corrected it, and it was in a debate, a public space for that matter. All right, he corrected himself, immediately, and without blinking. And of course, who wants to arrest him for that? Okay. So you saw a software developer can wound at different times. I have committed it, and I will still. It's not a cause, all right, that you just omit something. And all right. So now, when you have errors, when you have issues in your programs, how do you handle it? How do you manage it? For like the typical example that UiPath uses, it's a situation whereby you want to read an Excel data. Just imagine, I just want you to have a mental picture. Normally, when you want to read an Excel file, the Excel file um, should not be opened. If it does, it's going to throw an error. Now, so one of us has done this. I can't recall in which of the classes, in any class, I can't recall, but he wanted to do something, and then he had his that application still open, and then it threw an error to say that this application cannot work at the front, it has to work at the background. Okay, so how can you now handle such error, such that it does not terminate the entire effort, and not the effort you have thrown into development of your program? That's something we need to look at. We need to look at. I don't want to go in the way of what we call now using flowcharts to develop games. If you follow what we have been doing, you will get it. I'm pretty sure about it. But yeah, I don't know if it's a costly assumption, but I suppose very strongly that if you follow what you have been doing, you will also be able to use the flow chart, flow decision to uh, to do a random guessed number game, in which system the user will guess the number that the system has randomly picked. Sometimes it could be the number you have imputed by default. Sometimes it could be a number that system itself will pick. The system itself will pick based on the range you have provided. Okay, so um, I want us to look at try catch activity. Let me shoot up my PPT and
Hello, sir. Sorry, it's a break time, please.
break time. Okay, is that Abdullahi?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, all right. Break time. What time is it? This is 8:12. Okay. All right. So, all right then. Okay. So we should come back by 8:22 p.m. West African time. All right. So enjoy your break.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. You're welcome back from break.
Thank you, sir.
All right. All right. Yes. All right. So before we went for break, I mentioned that we want to look at one of the ways of handling error. Sometimes be from the developer, sometimes just be as a result of maybe an input made by the user. Anything can be responsible, but then the error handling is an effort from the developer to handle the error that could come from the user, the would-be consumer of your product. So the developer had, in this case, had envisaged possible things, possible problems that could befall the project, the entire flow. All right, so and then it tries to undo that project. Okay, so that's what informs the activity we want to lay our hands on this evening. It's called try catch. All right, so it's going to catch the error that is found. All right, and like I mentioned, it's like in the case of Excel sheets that's opened but ought not to. Sometimes it could be like the example you have in your manual that someone has just imputed the wrong value. Sometimes it could be instead of presenting numerical data, despite clear instructions, still user is imputing figure alphabets or something just somewhere else. So what happens? How do you handle that? Okay, yeah, let's start with opening our sequence. So I'm going to get new project opened. Call it try catch. Open app. Okay, so we bring in our sequence. Call it error handler. Try catch. Okay, error handler. Call it error handler. So everything comes in here. We open an Excel file. I think yesterday we also attempted reading an Excel file. Okay. Then so this is the mid-range activity with the fly because an Excel scope, Excel application scope should have been brought in and then this taken in. Okay, so this itself, that's the Excel file. Let me look for an Excel file to put here. Right, so browse, click on folder, and it comes into the project folder, and then click on challenge. That's the folder itself. Open. Okay. And you're supposed to read this read range. You're supposed to read this. The other thing we're supposed to do, create password no, and read range. All right, so we can, of course, the data read here, can push it into a bucket. Call it data table. Data table for challenge. So okay. So on a good day, let's check what this should give us. We want to reach this file. Okay, no Excel sheet is opened as it were right now. I mean, no Excel sheet. So let's say run file. All right, I think let's check. Okay, it was executed. Okay. To know if it's executed, so we know it. I think from here I know that it executed perfectly. All right. It's okay. But it's not already. Okay. After execution, the message box will come up. So we know that, okay, execution is okay. All right, and after it read it, okay. So let me have it opened. As you see, and still see if what results it will give me. I have it here. Save and run. So my Excel file is open now. Oh, that's a problem. So the source is that Excel application scope. That's where the problem is. And the message is that it could not open the specified workbook. Make sure there is no other workbook with the same name already opened. So if the workbook is password protected, please enter the correct password. So these are the possible reasons. All right, but then looking critically, we know that it's because this is opened. All right, and then it will not give me the results that execution. It's okay. Okay, so that's a problem. Now, imagine you have done a work and the user is not really taking note of what should and what should not happen, how he or she should use the project you have just put together for him. All right, so this error is what we now want to catch. Let me remove all this. That's a box. So we bring in a try catch activity. Okay, yeah, I should have mentioned this also that there are three major ways by which errors can be handled. Yeah, we have the try catch, the retry scope, and global handler. Okay, while we can have a number of try catch activities in a single project and retry scope, and we can have a number of all these. In the case of global handler, all you need is just one will suffice for the entire project. All right. So that means that in this kind of thing I'm doing now, I can have I can have 2, 3 try catch programs, okay, which will be interjected at different points in the workflow. But in the case of global handler, like the name suggests, it handles issues at the global level. Just one is okay. Just one will do for the entire project. Also, we have try catch here, and so let's just for now push it here, and then we can rearrange, bring in our read range into this section. Okay, so I've taken the read range into the try catch section, and then I can add new catch where I put exceptions. You can find out about all this personally, where system.io exception works, where system.exception works, where it's useful. I clicked on something, so it's brought this, right, so that you will not be surprised. How did I arrive at that? Browse for types, so you can explore all these provisions under the .NET framework as it concerns exceptions. Okay, so here we wanted to handle this invalid operation, okay, which is called IO, that's invalid operation. All right. Okay, so I haven't done that. Okay, we can now go ahead and drop. Still come to finally. We can drag and drop a right line activity into the caches. So, right line. What do I want the right line to do? I want it to display error so that possible you can know that there is an error somewhere. So here you can simply put let's put exception dot source dot to string. So now what is the catch? Just display error. Alright, so let me bring in a click activity to close the Excel file. So I'm bringing in a click activity.
But it's true that someone will choose as 11.
Please mute your mic, please. I want it. Okay. I'm indicating the close button. Okay. So that's Sheon Ojo Akomolafe. Kindly mute your mic. Sheon Ojo Akomolafe. Ṣeun Ojo Komolafe. Ṣeun Ojo Komolafe. Ṣeun Ojo Komolafe, please mute the mic.
I don't think he's closer to his computer.
I don't know why does it go on and off? That's the question. All right, so I introduce the right line to start this, and yeah, just it's reading. This one is to read. It's to read Excel file. All right. Okay, and then let me also add it to when it has read it successfully. I should also have the right line. Yeah, outside the Excel scope. So I want it to be here. I'll call this call it the end. Excel file read successfully. Now this, okay, Excel file read. Okay, and when we have done all this, plus now bring this into finally after it has caught problem at this level, so we can still impute some conditions. Okay, for it to decide maybe to read or not the data in that Excel file. And so we bring in if into the finally section. And that condition, the condition we want to set here is that if you have read the Excel sheet and the data there is empty, then take this decision. Okay, so we're going to put in place a condition. This condition will be very useful when we are talking about state machine. And we say the data employee is nothing and all of that. Okay, so condition is the data table which we created the other time. If this table is nothing, these are functions. If you say it's not nothing, then it is, we are saying the way I interpret this is that it means it is something. That is, it exists. As in, like, this is negative, this is negative. Okay. Then we are saying that, okay, it exists, it's something. Let me put it that way. But if we say data table is nothing. Okay, then you should read the read range, the data again. That's the Excel file. What is the read range now? Okay. Okay, then read this again. And of course, we are passing this into it. Okay. Now, if he's doing that, let's go through the whole thing and see what it translates to. At the beginning, read Excel file, which is challenge.xlss. Then it's going to read that file and then catch if there is any problem that is any technical problem. Okay, and then let it provide a kind of output. All right, then after it has done that, let it finally, okay, let it read again. Let it read the data. That's the data table again. So it keeps doing that, and it's, of course, let's run this and see run. Okay, it's good. This thing is on now. Excel application scope. They could not open this. I will close it and see. But I expect it to, even if it is open, I expect it to close it, to have it closed. I saw something now. I don't know if you saw it. Let me run it again. In this case, Excel sheet is not open. It's reading this. It read it and closed it. Okay, now you look at the position of this close button. After trying it, it closed it. And then as output, what do we have? Excel file read successfully. Okay. So what if we have the Excel file opened? It's supposed to catch that error as a technical problem, which we tag as system.io and the other time. Let me rerun it. Still waiting to see its outputs. Source click button. Okay, yeah, there should be a problem there. Message could not find the UI element corresponding to this selector. Thank you. All right, I'm sure we all know what is responsible for this. What this means, I mean. All right. Yeah. Can someone tell me what I'm meant to do here, please? I've been talking passively since. Someone. I don't want to mention names now, so that I don't in any way disregard others. I mean, for instance, let me look through the list of those that are here. Please, if I call your name, don't mind. It doesn't mean anything. It's just that I want to be sure you are participating. I do not mean that you are not good. But my mind, to tell you the truth, what I have in mind is that even if you are technical, some persons be so technical and good in coding, all right, and then you should be able to at least know something. So that's why I want to call you, if you don't mind. All right, I'm not saying you don't know much, but try to get my point. I won't call wisdom, I won't call Padimbaramasi, I won't call Joe, I won't call Awe, I won't call Matthew, I won't call Rachel herself, I won't call Amarachi, I won't call who else, I won't call Ajao, who else would I call? I won't call I won't call you. Okay, I'm looking for Barnabas. Your name is strange. Sorry, I mean you are new. Okay, you're not strange. You are new. Yeah, so let me
Yeah,
find
good
out.
evening. How was it? Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes,
Welcome.
sir. Yeah, I'm not new. Just
Yes,
that at times
know
I have
that.
challenges connecting, so I do download the classes on YouTube to catch up. So I was not.
All right, all right. Okay, all right. So, are you familiar with this problem? Oh, this disappeared. With what just came up, the error that was thrown now while I run this program. Are you familiar with that? Can you interpret it? It will come up now. It will come up. So after who is raising this hand? So let me see first. So if I don't call you, Matthew, I won't call you. Why should I call you? I saw Komolafe raise his hand the other time. I'm not sure. I don't want to call him. Okay, but just don't worry. It's not an exam. This is a family. It's we are just enjoying ourselves here. So though on virtual ground, but then we respect ourselves. That's the truth. Even if you are not as versatile as some persons, we don't see any issue in that. Do you get? So maybe to puncture your to puncture you a bit, I'm a facilitator in this space. All right. Okay. So I'm meant to serve as guide. I'm meant to be by your side. The whole thing, the deal is actually about you and about others. Do you understand? I'm not a lecturer. I'm not pouring knowledge into you. You already know certain things, and some things you don't even know. You don't know that you know them. So I'm here to just guide you. Like, oh, that path this is the way to get there. So that's all. That's why I'm here. Okay. So I'm not setting any trap for you. Is that okay, Barnabas? You are also versatile in your own field. So that's not an issue, even if it's not a terrain. All right.
So I was even busy. I was even busy going over. I mean, reading the lesson 8. So I didn't even hear how do you well.
And so you are not part of this class then. That's what
You
it
know,
means.
No, sir. No, sir. I'm part of the class. I'm reading. I'm also listening to what you guys are discussing.
You are a great man. Oh. I envy you. As in, I just wish I would be like you when I grow old. As in, yeah, you're a big man. Okay. All right. So Matthew is still insisting that I call him. Vivian, are you here? Vivian, are you here? Let's look at this thing together.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Vivian, are you familiar with this error you have on your screen? Can we look at it together? Oftentimes it comes and then, not this very one, but something like this. It comes and then somehow we just treat it and then we may not know how it's been handled. But let's look at it together. I'm still in my heart that we should look at it together. Can we?
Okay.
So Vivian, okay, what is this saying? What's going on here?
That it could not find the UI element corresponding to the selections. So probably there was an error.
Okay, like if you like the source now, let's look at the source. What do we have at the source? The source of this the error being thrown. That's what I'm saying. It's saying click. Click is
Button close.
all right. In the workflow, there must be an activity named click, then button close in quotes. Okay, and so that is the source. So you don't need to be going around to look for what exactly is the problem. Just go to this activity. So what exactly is the problem? So we cannot go to the message and find out what is the problem. Like the message is like you read it, could not find the UI element corresponding to this selector. So we have an idea that it borders on the selector, and it's giving all options. Windows app, okay, and user interface, okay, all this ribbon toolbar, and then the close. The search failed at selector tag. Like explaining what we have here, okay, search field as selector bar, then the closest matches found are this, and the exception type is UiPath call selector not found exception. So something is not found. That's what it looks like. That a layman that I have, it looks like that. Okay. So what exactly? And we have been in class when we talk about selector, fine tuning our selectors. Okay, so the way to do that, if you come to the hamburger icon, this is then edit selector. There we can, the selector is truly not okay. So now the title, there is problem with the title. I'll tell you why I said there is problem. Like if you do a work and then you get it across to your client and then maybe name has changed or something, it means that you will not be able to run your program as you intend to. So that's why we need to remove this. So I hope that after removing this, I check the validate. It should be validate. It should be valid. I mean, the selector should be valid by simply removing the title. So doing that is saying that omit this title, open, be friendly with any other Excel file. Let's check. Okay, all right. So this means you are good to go. It's valid, so we can okay it. Now instead of edit selector picking it from here, I can equally come to properties. I'm just rewinding anyway. I can come to properties. Okay, somewhere at targets, you can expand it. Come to selector, you see. All right, you see what you're also talking about there. All right, so that's just a little.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Wait, Matthew, you want to? Is it about this thing?
Sir, actually, I don't know. I just came in after reconnection. Like my network was having issues. So, and I just heard that you were saying that you're not going to call Matthew. So I don't know what is it about.
Are you serious? Nah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that was a great coincidence. Okay, yeah. Okay, I think we were doing something as you should expect us, and then
Okay.
we got to a point. I just wanted to test number one for activeness and for participation, and I wanted to also to carry uh, everyone along to just see where we are. I just want to know where you are, and so that I can know where I am. All right, that's all. So a little,
Okay. So,
that was a
so
little.
when you say you're not going to call Matt, you mean
That
I'm not participating?
no, that's not what it means. I was saying that
Okay. Okay.
yes,
Okay, sir.
I was saying that I had called other names before your name and even after I called your name. Yeah, that I'm not going to call some names. I know. Which I had called earlier. I don't want to repeat those names. The reason is because I consider, I may be wrong, that such people may just have uh, very fast clue to the question I was asking. So I was looking for someone that may not be at some levels that some of you guys are operating, and so that we can use that pace, you can use that such people's pace to monitor what you are doing. So that was why I said I'm not going to call Matthew, I'm not going to call social names, and I'm not going to call Babalanda, I'm not going to call. Do you understand? So that's how I got there. Don't be afraid. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, sorry, I want to ask about the exam. I'm planning on writing the exam
You know what?
ending of. Okay.
Yes. Sorry to cut in.
Okay.
It's just I just want to go by some standing principles which you are part of. All right. Don't
Yes.
worry.
Okay.
I've
Okay,
noted
sir.
that. Kindly help
All right.
us to bring it in towards the end of
Okay.
today's class. Don't log out, please.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank
All
you
right.
for your
Thanks, sir.
understanding. All right. So yeah. So that now I think we had issues back to what we were doing on screen. So we had issues with that this click button and its selector. All right. So and then we can rerun it to see um, if it's going to fly. So the first equation, the first thing is I have my Excel file opened, and it's opened. Don't forget, it's meant to try and catch possible errors and close it so that it can read it again and again. Okay, read, run file. Yeah, so we expect this, the head of the whole thing is Excel file read successfully. So expect to see that at the output panel. So I can see that. So that means that it was read despite the fact that it was open. Now the Excel sheet, can you still see it on the screen? No, it has closed. Can you attest to that? Can someone attest to that? It has closed. Yeah, it has closed. So that was what the try catch did to catch that this application ought not to be opened, and so I'm doing it again. It's open, so something will shut the Excel file. Shut it down. Okay. So it's as good as, even if it is not open, if the Excel file is not opened, it's still going to read it. So whether it's open or not, all right, the program is working. Okay, yes. All right, so that's about that. Then don't forget I mentioned retry scope, global handler as ways of handling errors. I would want to give us, make it personal, give you a task to do. We have some persons work on retry scope. What you will do is just inject some errors into your project, and let's see what you will inject some errors. I mean, no, do it this way. Maybe what you just do is you run your program. Just do your program normally. Please make it simple. Make it simple, as simple as a multi-your candidates work, I think. Okay, make it simple. Now, if what you can do is to do something complex, well, you can still do it. We'll still learn from it in a way. You can still do it, no problem. So if you can try, just make it simple anyway. All right, and then so we are going to impute some problems. And I say problems into the user from the user end, and then see how it will go. So possible points where you think users may impute wrong things. For instance, where users ought to impute integer in numerical data, users are maybe imputing alphabets. So those points, try to use this try-catch error handling approach at them. So we are going to share this across the three approaches: the try-catch, the retry scope, the global global handler. So let's just do it between retry scope and what's it called? We just did try-catch. Now we have some persons here. Yes, the enrollment manager has been here since. I actually ought to should have spoken, come up by 9, but for what we're doing, I could not call him. He's here in our midst, and then I have not seen, but I hope I can also see that the admin, how do I call her now? I don't know what title I should give her. Okay, but she's our girl. Okay, she's also here. The one of the administrators in the leader LLC. Okay, the person of Joyce Day, and then I think Julius Atagana. All right, and Testimony Adams. Like I mentioned when we started class, that we're going to have 2 out of previous batch, all right, that are on orientation. They are steaming seriously, and they are very hot. All right, so I look towards, I don't know, I consult them when I need help. Please help me out. And Julius Takana, of leading the last batch in a way, was providing tutorial support. But he provided tutorial support by through his good mind, like some of you have also proposed to do, and it was really, really helpful. Good mind, good heart. Is someone I salute and I really value. And then we also have Testimony here. Testimony is she has been winning awards here and there, but she has refused to pay tax. Okay, but there is no offense in that. Okay, all right. I believe she's also here. Before Julius and Testimony will come up, I would like to call in the enrollment manager, Mr. Koride Kolawale. You're welcome, sir. Mr. Koride Kolawale, are you still there?
Yeah, okay. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
we can hear you, sir.
Yeah, so I know RPA has been going on fine for quite a number of us. We checked the survey some of us have responded to, and we see that you are passionate about the learning process. I just want to encourage you to do more and keep doing what you're already doing. The goal is that you become an advanced developer as RPA is concerned. And then not just that, you start earning big. So every opportunity to encourage yourself, even when in Nigeria we experience poor network, bad power supply, but in any way you can encourage yourself, just get yourself encouraged and finish up to the end. The exams are necessary. There are things that that's exactly the way you will get yourself certified. So once you put your mind to it, don't worry, the resources will come and then you become certified. So I just want to encourage us to keep our participation flowing in, and then in any way you can help others that may not have gotten what you already know, please do as well. We're all working as a team, and the goal is that we all become certified and will become the international markets. And I also want to salute our instructor, Dr. Ebin, for doing a great job. It's nice to have those who have gone through this stage and are certified already. It's nice to have them in here to encourage others as well. So
Hello?
yeah, sorry, I got locked out. So
Okay.
we see your efforts, and we're by you trying to offer every support as much as possible. So it's our desire that very soon we'll see some of you taking your exams, the first exam, and then passing, then moving on to the advanced level. So just an encouragement from me. Keep up with what you have been doing and do more. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ebin.
Thank you, Mr. Kuride.
Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
for that, for those words of encouragement. They are timely. Thank you so much, sir. All right. Yeah. It's Mrs. Joyce. Do you want to say something? Do you want to address us? Because I know that your presence is not easily found. It's very rare. So to have you here, I'm sure there must be a reason for that. Do you have something you want to tell us?
Yeah, not so much, except that I just want to appreciate the presence of everyone in the class so far, especially those that have been so consistent, making it to classes every day. Yeah, and to encourage you that I just keep the good work going, and we expect that in few weeks' time, yeah, like a month's time, you will be would have graduated with very good results. That's what we expect from every one of you. So I wish you the very best as you are preparing. I wish you the best as well, that you come out in flying colors. Yeah, that's just it from me.
Thank you so much, madam. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, like Ibrahim said on the chat, he said really moved and emboldened. All right, so when a strong man is moved and emboldened, yeah, that's an exponential strength. Okay, so thank you for coming in now. But then I feel I should say that your exponential strength is going to come up more as testimony Adams and Julius Atagana also have their voice coming. Yes, I like to hear from them, sincerely speaking. I'm just smiling, as I'm about to inviting them, I'm just smiling. Tell me why. I don't know. I'm just happy to be a privileged privileged instructor, on that ground we met. Just like you, these people are very good, and they are all aiming to be better. And testimony, are you there? Are you with us? Is testimony here? Oh, that's how well, right. Testimony, are you here? Okay, it's like testimony. Adams is not yet here. Okay, I see Julius. I think Julius is here. Julius, are you here? Yeah.
Yes, I'm here, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Good evening, everybody. Wow. I'm happy to meet this team again. Wonderful team. Yeah. Thank you very much, my instructor. We used to call him Mr. Dr. Ebenezer. So he has a 3 title. I want to thank every one of us being in this class. It's a rich thing. We have to put our efforts to get in and see how we'll do great. This might just be the foundation. As we move, we'll begin to see a greater height and what we can exploit with these tasks. It's a new activity in this part of the world. So I employed everyone to put their best, and it's going to take us very high. We are waiting you from the other side. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
It cannot be that short. It has to be as long as. Now, I know that, we will engage you. Don't worry. I know you are on a program. In fact, this should be your 3rd program for the day. At least I'm privy to your schedule in a way. Okay, but regardless, I know a number of persons, they would want to maybe ask questions, get your contacts, and or do a number of things. So I'm here to moderate. All right, so I'm your moderator, and I can see some hands on. I have Ajao. I have Ajao's hand up, and I know that as you try to say some things to respond to this, more hands will be coming up. All right. Okay. Let me just start with them. Don't let me raise any question from my head. Ajao Abidemi. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. Good evening, sir, Mr. Julius Atagana. I hope I'm very right with the name, sir.
You're very right. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm highly motivated tonight with the level of what I heard from the initial speakers and to you. One thing I want to ask from you, sir, is what was your level of your level of RPA or what I say, maybe what I'll put as programming language. What was your level before you began this process initially? So why I ask this question is sometimes when we go into this thing, I become so scared. But when Mr. Ebenezer do say some things that, look, if we practice very well, we become experts. So I want to know the level you were and how much effort you were able to put to become what you are today. I know you are still moving about with what you heard about you. I'm really encouraged that I believe I can also make it like you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for that question.
Sorry, Julius, please, just a moment. I'm thinking, because I'm sure that if when it starts to raise issues, other things may want to come up. I'm thinking maybe I should harvest some of those questions, and then after that, if any other ones will be coming up, then we'll fly with them so that we don't have an endless discussion. All right. Okay. John, away.
Okay. Mr. Julius, good evening.
Good evening.
So my question is, I have quite a number of questions, but let me see. I will start with how easy. I understand you are on the orientation program already.
Sorry, I think I am losing signal. I can't hear you. Can anybody hear him?
Yes, I can. I can hear
can you hear me now?
2 ends. I can hear from the 2 ends.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Hello.
can. We can hear you.
Hello, Julius. Is he still on call?
I think maybe his network is
Hello,
not.
yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, I lost
Oh.
you when you were talking. You said how?
Yeah. I want to take my question again. So my question is,
Hello?
hello, Julius.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Okay, it could be bandwidth issues. John, can I suggest that you do
Okay.
type?
Okay, can you drop your question? Can you drop your question as message so that we can read through? Because I am losing signal from your network.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Hello?
I'll try and do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Ademola Lawa. Ajawa, I believe you can lower your hand since you are done. Okay. Ademola Lawa. Please, when you want to ask question, please do ensure that your background is friendly, so that you don't bring in alongside noise into the class. Okay. Thank you. Okay, Ademola is not coming up. So Emmanuel Felix. Emmanuel Felix.
Oh. Now are you getting me?
Yes, Emmanuel.
Hello?
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Mine is to the guests that are still on their orientation, and I just want to know, as in the challenges they are going through at the moment in the orientation, and I want to understand whether the knowledge they gathered from the training is it enough for them, and is it the one sustaining them in the orientation, or they have to do extra things before being able to be succeeding in the orientation? Thank you very much.
Great question. Okay. Yeah, Julius, did you hear that? Hello, Julius. I can answer some of your questions, John.
Yes, I got that.
Okay, you had everything, the two-sided questions. Okay, all right. So the next.
Can I can I step in, sir?
Okay,
we are still collecting questions.
Let me call in one more person, Joe Oshubu. Joe Oshubu.
Yes, sir. My question is, how do I prepare for the examination to get to where you are? What effort, what materials, what maybe extra stuff did you do to get to where you are to pass the exams and everything? Because I'm sure many other people did it and they probably didn't pass. So I would like to know.
Okay, good question. So I would let's pause it at this point. All right. If you have asked your question, you can lower your hands, and then have only those that have not been privileged to speak, and then raise their hands. Okay. Yeah. So over to you, Mr. Julius.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
I have
Thank
my question
you.
on the
I'll
chat
start
already.
with the very first question. If I'm not mistaken, you're asking for the you're asking for the for the level of understanding you have before embarking on the RPA. Yeah, I would say my level of understanding in programming was fairly okay, but that shouldn't be a yardstick to repel you. Like you said, you were scared when they said this. I found out that I just need only little touch of programming compared to what Mr. Ebenezer is teaching you today.
We've lost.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes, we
Hello.
lost you some seconds ago. Hello, Julius.
Hello. Okay, sorry. I think I lost signal shortly. Okay, like I was saying, you just need first, you need to believe in yourself, and everything you got in this class today is going to do more to you what you'd have, and find time to read around this, because most of the programming idea you think you may need has already been embedded in the code on activities, and just know how to put the A and the B together, and the result is there. So I would advise you shouldn't be scared that you must know the mountains of programming before you can get these tasks done. Just look around the scope and you'll see that is an easy thing to pass through. Then the level of preparation you have to. Yes, UiPath has made it friendly to you to go through their documentation and their site to read through all of those things. You need some of those things to prepare you. They gave you a syllabus. Just follow the syllabus, read around those things, and do more of the practice. You see yourself scaling through. And this your question brings us to the third person's question, that what levels of preparation he needs to do that. So your level of preparation is first, find yourself very active in the class, pick up assignments, try to do them. And if you can't do them, try to relate with the instructor who will guide you, and also try to share with your colleagues. Like when I was in the class in the last session, we have to create a weekend activity. We took extra length to say, okay, let's repeat what we have been trained on. We all come together in one of the RPA class on weekend. We might just say two to four, and we try to put things. We share ideas among ourselves, and it was really, really rich. If you can do something around that within yourself, you see that no man is an island in this field. We all need each other to survive, and you find out that you are going to grow very well. Having done that, before going for the exam, I'll recommend you to also give yourself a practice exam in the RPA environment. There is a practice exam there too. Just get your hands and test your boldness around that, and try to score some. One thing I like about that practice exam is that just try your best. Even if you score 0, score 50, score 100, it gives you your result, and it gives you also areas you go back to go and study around. Just pick each of them, go to the documentation or even YouTube, paste them. You'll see people already solving such kind of problem, and that will also add to your library of experience. If you can do that and closely beat your chest that after I've taken this practice exam, I am confident I'm scoring 100%. Nothing stop you to go and take the exam. You see yourself doing well. But first, don't try to be very, very attentive in the class, and follow all necessary things, share ideas. I think that will give us the preparation. I think I've been able to answer the first and the third question, but the second person's question wasn't clear.
Yeah, John always has his questions posted. So his name is John Awe. You may need to run through the chat.
Okay, let me go through the chat and get that question.
It says, I want to assume you are based in Nigeria. Are you based in Nigeria?
Based in Nigeria, Benin City, Edo State. Okay. Thank you very much. Then I think there was also another person who asked the challenges we are facing in the orientation program. Wow. The challenges we are facing in the orientation program is not a challenge, but it is what every developer faces. It's the real world challenge. We take real world activities and see how we can act on them. So we are going beyond the scope of the class and then trying to solve human problems. Those are the challenges, and get ourselves involved with blogs and see where we ask questions and get questions. So those are some of the challenges we face in the orientation.
Okay, back to John Awes' question, the chat.
Okay. Is it not John Aware that asked where do I base? I said Nigeria, Edo State, Benin City.
Yes, it also asks the question if you combined if you are combining your commitment to the training and orientation program with other things like regular 9 to 5 job. It's only even more than 9 to 5. It's 8 to 7. Am I correct?
Okay. My own is 8 to 1. So there are a lot of activities holding me. I know there are
8 to 1. No, it's talking about your regular placement, your regular job in Benin City.
Okay, my regular placement. Yes, it's just 8 hours.
I hear that. How are you coping with? I suppose that's the question. That how have you been able to cope with that? Combine that with orientation, with job, and all of that. And even he's a family man. He has 4 kids. Sorry, 4 children, not kids. All right. Sorry, I'm
it's
shooting
my
you.
Copyright.
Okay. Yes.
It's my copyright.
All right. So how have you been able to combine all of this?
It's actually not an easy task, but it's dedication and great commitment. You have to do more to get all of these things. Some of them are some sacrifice you just have to do to make things happen. So you just have to devote more commitment to it. It all still depends on commitment, your great commitment to it. And you see that if you are able to organize things, they will all fall in place and you won't find that as a challenge, rather focusing on the real problem.
Hello, Julius. Hello, sir.
Sir, my question, sir.
Hello, Mr. Julius.
Hello, here.
I feel like you've not answered. You answer my question. Do you work? Do you have some other job, or maybe you have to quit your job, or maybe you work from home before, or do you have a regular job you resume at the office normally, aside the orientation?
Yes, I have my job that I worked with. But with great commitment, I have to see how I can manage my job and the time schedule. And they all blend. So I do extra along with the orientation program.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Are you a student or a graduate?
That question is no more necessary, sir.
It's not unnecessary. After hearing that he's a father of 4.
Thank you.
More respect.
All right. Yes, I get to know some of these things. I've not seen him before, so you may be wondering how did the instructor get to know about the demographics of students. Well, I just intentionally I created some social connections that would help us beyond the RPA thing, beyond all the to string and to stream thing. So there is a platform. We have a way of talking beyond the RPA thing. So that's how I got to know some of the things about him and others too. All right. So if you ask a question about them, I will tell you a few things about them, each of them in a way.
Hello, sir.
Thank you.
You
Okay.
answered the question.
Yeah, Ibrahim. Yeah, I'll get to you, Amarachi, and others, please. Yes, Ibrahim Badamasi seems to be asking a question on more of reading and analyzing the concept than doing classroom work for practice. However, I'm familiar with how all the logics work. What could you say about that? Well, if you understood the question, you can respond to that. All right.
Okay. Hello. So I really enjoyed that confidence you have in understanding how robotic works. But I think robotics is beyond just what we understand. Like I told you, in the outer world, there are many problems you have to see. You'll be amazed how you see robotic acting on that. So that idea you have is good, but don't feed that as a mountain. I'll still encourage you, do read more and gather more information so that you can really explore the world. It's a good idea you have. Keep it up and act on it. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So back to the voiced questions. Your advice was fluent as Lawa. Okay. Okay. All right. So back to your question. Those other questions. I don't know if you have answered them all. Up to Joe Oshubu's question. Like Joe Oshubu asked the question. I don't know if you have answered it.
Okay. I don't know which question I have not answered and which I've answered.
Okay.
Sorry. Though. Okay.
Joe Oshubu, has your question been answered?
Yes.
Okay. Who else asked the question? Okay, so I think he is done with that. So Amarachi, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Oh, okay. I'll call you James. Okay. Good evening.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Please, my question is, Mr. Gilos. Based on your experience on the exam, the practical session on UiPath, are they the same question on the re-exam? I just want to know.
Sorry, I didn't get that question. Can you recap?
Okay, I said based on your experience on the exam, okay?
Yeah.
The practical guidelines on the UiPath website, is it the same questions on the real exam?
Okay, that's a very fine question. The practical guideline is just to give you an insight that these are possible questions that will come out. What you're going to be having, that's why I employed you, follow this class from beginning to end, then sit for the exam. What you're going to be seeing might be slightly different from what you have in class, but they are going to follow the same procedure.
Okay.
So I think
none of those questions on the practical, can't see any of those questions on the
like I said, when I went to the practical exam in the UiPath platform, out of the, I think it was 47 question in the RPA, out of the 47 question, it was not close to 5 that was almost the same thing that was there. But the other numbers that were there were twisted. So if you actually go through the documentation as the instructor is taking us through and follow them, try to know all the ideas he's sharing with you. So no matter what the question is going to be, he will always have an answer to it. So my recommendation to you is not just to depend the environment for practical question is just to prepare your confidence, but that's not going to be your expectation in the exam. Your expectation might be different.
Okay, I've got you. Thank you.
Hello?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got you.
Hello?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, James and Miade.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Please, sir, I want to ask concerning the orientation.
Thank you very much, sir.
The
Thank you, everyone.
Please, how many hours is the orientation? How many hours
Sorry,
are
I
you
didn't get you.
How many hours are we going to be working during the orientation?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
How many hours?
Yes, how many hours are we going to be spending on the job during orientation period, during the 6-month orientation period?
8 hours per day.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Am I correct? Because it's a normal work situation. Yeah, that is subject to.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Matthew, we're watching.
Sir, good evening, sir.
All right, good evening.
Yes, sir. Please, I want to ask a question. I want to ask the exam. Is it OBJ questions? And then that's my first question. And then secondly, I learned that there are two category of the exam. First is the associate. So the associate, I want to ask that if I get the associate, would I be allowed to proceed to the orientation, or I need to get the second exam also? Those are my two questions.
If I can, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I was expecting my instructor to take us on that. But thank you, sir. You're expected to, I believe you read through before engaging the class. You're expected to get the two exam done, certified, before you begin the orientation class.
Okay, sir. All right,
Thank
sir.
you.
So how about the exam, the nature of the exam?
Yes. You also ask if it's OBJ. Yes, the exams are OBJ, or will I say a JAMA question, OBJ and a drag and drop. There are cases where you meet OBJ. There are some cases where you have to drag and realign the objects in their various order. So that's the format of the exam.
For the both exams?
Yes, for both exams.
Okay, sir. All right, thank you, sir.
The first exam is 90 minutes, and the second exam is 2 hours.
Wow, 2 hours. Wow.
So
okay,
no, it doesn't mean you must finish the 2 hours. You can. They gave you enough time to actually work with
2 hours in here.
2 hours.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir.
All right.
Yes, you wanted to say something about.
I really enjoy this class. That this class could even do more and greater things. Because of the persons, I was at the back door trying to see the communication around, and I could see your contribution. If you can go with this team spirit as well as sharing idea, I think the sky is going to be the sky is going to be below your limit. So I implore you, just follow the instructions direction and get yourself as team alongside. Then the instructor is there, and he may also want us to also assist, maybe from time to time, to also share your complaints as well. Maybe your complaint sometimes might be one of our real world solutions that we actually need in the orientation program. So from time to time, we might be visiting.
All right, sir.
Certainly. Yeah, Leonard Ogochukwu is still there. That your way of the way you just spoke now, it looks like you want to log out. Don't log out yet. Leonard Ogochukwu is there. Yes,
Okay.
Kingsley Omoike is also there. Yeah. Can I go ahead? Leonard, okay. Please ensure you are in a quiet place so that we can actually enjoy this class. Okay, please type your question, Leonard. Yeah, type it. Don't worry. No. Type your question. So let's ask. Let's have Kingsley Omoike. I'm sorry, Omoike query. All right, Leonard, you type in your question to the chat box. Kingsley, if your background is okay, the environment is friendly, kindly raise your voice.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
No,
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I was raising my hand initially, but it's like I've gotten my answer. I wanted to talk about when I went through the past questions and I saw the kind of questions they were setting. I became scared. Because if you don't know it, you don't know it. So I was like, should I proceed or I should drop? Because I cannot afford to lose that money or pay that money twice. So I was so scared. But from what the man is saying, I'm a little bit relieved. But if there is another way out in order to make this whole thing easier for us, I think I will still appreciate if you can still expatiate more. The questions, the practical questions are something else. I've not come across such.
Okay.
It's like
see, it looks funny, but it's actually not funny. It's the truth. I won't actually fault you. Like I said, when you did a practical question, you may score 0. I think I used the word score 0, 50, or even 100. I remember when myself and some of my team also did, I happened to score a reasonable mark, which could build my confidence. But some of my team also scored a lower mark. It was then we discovered that scoring a lower mark doesn't mean you should be scared. If you go beyond that lower mark, you see some of the topics which you need to be enlightened on. The site will actually give you the topic, which you can go to the documentation and read. I bet you if you read those topics you said you don't know in the documentation, next time you'll be the one even advising people on the topic. Like your class, I would say, is more privileged than ours. Why would I say that? Because now you have people you look up to. Then we were not having people we look up to. It was just our instructor and ourselves, and we getting just everything. No advice coming, only the one from our instructor. Now you have everywhere around from the instructor. You can even call and all that. We can even give you some of our experiences. So I think you shouldn't be scared. What you did was a brave step. Just download those areas you filled. Each topic that you said you don't know are there. Just go to the documentation, paste each of the topic and read through. You'll see that when you go back to the same practical question again and do it, you are going to score higher. I remember when I did it, I said I scored a reasonable amount score in the first time. When I did it second time, I scored, I think, 100% after reading the documentation. And it was wow.
That also helped me when I was doing the advanced. In the advanced, when I did the advanced the first time, I scored 60%. I was wondering, after I thought I've read, and I saw that there are some topics which I may have not read. So I have to take those topics, go back into the documentation, read through the documentation, and also support myself with some videos. And when I went back to the practical exam, I saw that I was able to score 100 in the practical exam. But still, that is not the confidence. That's why I will employ you. Don't miss one day out of these classes that you are going through. What Mr. Ebenezer is showing you are key to the exams. So if you know the concept, there's no way the exam will be twisted. And
okay, we lost that signal, like they will say in NTA. Oh, sorry, we lost that signal. Okay, so back to the studio in which state now? I can still see hands up. These hands, they've already spoken. I suppose they forgot to lower their heads. Yeah, I suppose. All right, okay. All right, so I think we've got something from Julius Atagala, and it's been very helpful to summarize. I think if there's a way of summarizing all that he has said, everything borders on encouraging yourself. It borders on taking it up from where you are, wherever you are. It's if you had commitment to it, you'll get to where you should be. That commitment is a lot. It means you're going to pay some sacrifices. If I want to break it down for you at the sociology level, I will tell you that if you are a family person and you want to be committed to RPA, it means that there's many times that your children may not see your face and all of that. So commitment is a robust word. All right, and it will mean different things to different people. It may take you to go to hard places to access internet and lights. I know that some of those persons in the last class, they went through that also. It was not committed. So commitment is a robust word. Now again, practice questions and team spirit, collaboration. We did a lot of that, and it was part of it. Others were part of it. Others they were part of it. I mean, so we want to encourage you to do this and to even do more. All right, you have the number. The number was not up to this then. All right, so you have the number. You have people. We have. I don't want to mention names now. A lot of you good, so you can just help yourselves, help one another to get to the level where you ought to get to. All right, so it is on this note that I would like to draw the curtains on today's class, and we call it a day. Don't forget all that has been discussed with you, from the enrollment manager to Julius Atagana. Testimony did not come. When it comes around, when she comes around, I mean, would look, we would have her share some things about some of the challenges, and I said that, I mean, competitions she has involved in. Testimony is pretty young. Okay, well, I will daze you. She's pretty young, not like Mr. Julius. All right. Okay, so it tells you that, okay, if you are young, you have platform to go up, and if you are also so committed to family things, you also can climb up the ladder. All right, so thank you so much for your first is your presence, your resilience, which I salute. It's not been convenient for some of us, but we're still forging ahead. Thank you, and keep it up so that all the efforts imputed so far will not be a waste at the end of the day. Right. So I'm thinking that we should put some persons like I said before we came into this session, we should try catch and we try scope. I don't know if I should do it or I should maybe I should put you groups or I should just have volunteers. Okay, if you want to, let me have your hands up now. If you want to, if you promise that you do something around the retry scope, I would want you to raise your hands now. Retry scope. Perhaps I'll just need I'll need like 4 persons. Just 4 persons will do. Even if it's not up to 4, that's okay. Yeah, I just need to. This is good. Good. So this is for the try scope. Classroom, please take note. Amarachi Joe Shibu. Oh, Joe has withdrawn his hands again. So class rep John Aware, take note of these ends. Okay.
All right, sir.
Okay. So okay, J Amarachi, Matthew Wauche, Joe Shibu Babalala, Lanik. Oh, it's out of 5. This is try scope. Try scope. Okay, are we all saying? Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Hello.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't at the beginning, so
okay. Yeah, I remember you.
What are we really going to do?
Okay. Yeah, we treated error handling today. Okay, so just we have three ways of handling error: the try catch, retry scope, and the global handler. So we want to see how we can use tool. That's just the try catch and the other one, what's it called now? The
try scope.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I want us to do. So your hands being up is not part. It's not for you to be part of those that will show us. That means we have 4 persons that will show us how we can use the try scope. So they will just do something, know what to do now. They will create some problems and try to also solve it in a way. All right. So okay, now for try catch. You have hands up for try catch. You can lower your hands for try catch. If I can have 4. Oh, Amarachi again. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Etienne Victor, fine, great. Okay, Etienne Victor. Okay, if I have just 2, I'm very okay with it. Sincerely speaking, very, very okay. All right, so it's been a very long day. For some of us, we have 2 hours to close up today. For some, 3 hours. Well, so I wish us all the best in life. Please do well and do fine. Okay. So good night, everyone.
Bless you, sir.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
Thank you, sirs. Amas.
Good night, sir.
Yes, thank you, sirs. Amas. Yes, sir.
Good night, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good night, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.